talk about something that's a massive, and I mean massive, hidden drain on so many companies: the whole administrative nightmare of EHS compliance. Today, we're going to dig into how automation isn't just making this process a little better, it's completely flipping it on its head.
So let me ask you this. Does your EHS team spend, countless hours just bogged down in paperwork, reporting? If you're nodding along right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a real pain. So let's break down why this manual process is just so frustrating.
I mean, look at this. This manual process is an absolute productivity killer. First, you're hunting down data from like a dozen different systems. Then you're trying to navigate these super clunky government websites. After that, it's just mind-numbing manual data entry, one cell at a time. Every single step is slow, it's repetitive, and honestly, it's a perfect recipe for a headache.
But here's the thing. The real issue here goes way deeper than just a few wasted hours. This whole manual mess creates some serious, tangible risks for the entire business.
Okay, first up, you're just wasting talent. Think about it. You've hired these highly skilled, really smart EHS professionals for their strategic expertise, and you've got them stuck doing administrative data entry. Their most valuable skills are basically buried under an avalanche of copy and paste tasks.
And, with manual data entry comes something else: human error. It's just inevitable, right? A single typo, a misplaced decimal point, that's all it takes to be non-compliant. And that can trigger some pretty significant financial penalties, not to mention the damage to your company's reputation.
And finally, there's this. What happens when all this super complex process knowledge lives inside the heads of just one or two people? If Sarah from compliance goes on vacation or gets sick, or heck, wins the lottery and leaves, the entire reporting process can just grind to a halt. It's a huge single point of failure.
So, how do you fix all this? Well, the answer is targeted automation. Let's take a look at how a platform like ZAPTEST really tackles this problem head-on. To put it simply, ZAPTEST is a tool that's designed to automate that entire tedious EHS submission process we just walked through. I mean, everything, from grabbing the data in the first place all the way to logging that final submission confirmation. The whole shebang. And the process itself? It's brilliantly simple. You don't need to be a coder or some kind of tech wizard. An EHS professional literally just does the task once, while ZAPTEST records their actions. ZAPTEST then turns that recording into a reusable script that can run the submission perfectly every single time without fail. And this right here just shows the difference so clearly. You go from a process that's slow, prone to errors, and totally dependent on specific people, to one that is fast, perfectly accurate, and completely reliable because it's the system itself that's driving it. It's a night and day difference. So what does this actually mean in the real world? What's the impact? Well, when you fix the process, you don't just speed things up, you actually transform the entire function of your EHS department. Okay, so what does this really mean for the day-to-day workload? For the people who are actually in the trenches doing these submissions, the result is, well, it's pretty staggering. 90%. Yeah, you heard that right, a 90% reduction in the manual workload. That's not some marketing fluff. By automating these repetitive tasks, you are literally freeing up 9/10 of the time that was previously just lost to this administrative grind.
And the benefits just keep coming from there. You completely eliminate data entry errors, which means you're going to consistently meet deadlines without any of that last-minute panic. Your readiness for an audit goes through the roof because you have these perfect automated logs. And for the people at the top, you are directly, measurably reducing both regulatory and reputational risk. It's a win-win-win. But this, to me, this is the ultimate payoff. It's not just about being more efficient, it's about empowerment. Automation frees your experts to do the high-value work they were actually hired for, proactively making the workplace safer and preventing incidents, instead of just reactively filing paperwork. So the final question you've got to ask yourself is this. What if compliance wasn't just a burden you had to deal with? What if it could become a strategic asset? Because by automating the process, you can turn a cost center into a function that actively makes your business stronger. And that's a really powerful shift to think about.